Malawi, known as the warm heart of Africa, is one of the smallest and poorest countries on the continent. I travelled there last month to visit an innovative project for street kids in the country's northern region. My manager, John Dumford, sponsors this music project, which is run by St. John of God's. The project is called Umoza, which means togetherness. Music and dance play an important part in the rehabilitation of these children.
Very specially, I'd like to introduce a great Irish singer whose song you've been working on, Mary Coughlan.
Because John of God's are involved in it, I have particular affection for them because I spent many a long day and night in John of God's in their treatment centre in Dublin. I wasn't a star pupil, but I got it in the end, and I've been sober 18 years now, so. My 4,000-mile journey from Dublin took me first to Frankfurt, then Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and finally to Lilongwe, the capital of Malawi. John, where are we going to sit?
We're going to sit in the van, Mary.
There is no place to sit, John.
It's a pleasure to bring people out here. Everybody enjoys it, everybody gets a lot out of it, and they also see the African story. This is a story that needs to be told.
Malawi is arguably most famous for its lake. Lake Malawi stretches a massive 570 kilometres along the eastern side of the country. Across the lake lie Tanzania and Mozambique, while the country's western side is bordered by Zambia.
I would think Malawi could probably feed Africa. It is the most fertile soil in the world, and it has Lake Malawi that the problem with Africa's water, it's a huge lake. The water table is very high. It's only about 4 metres down. With very little money and a little bit of technology and a little bit of know-how, they could be a huge food producer, not only for themselves, but for half the rest of Africa.
Once a British colony, Malawi gained its independence in 1964, but it took another 30 years for the country to have its first independent elections. Earlier this year, Joyce Banda became Malawi's first female head of state. Life expectancy in Malawi is 52 years, and the AIDS-HIV rate is 15%. Oh, holy mother, mind the goat, dinner, mint sauce. St. John of God's first came here 20 years ago to provide a mental health service for the northern region. Based in the city of Mzuzu, they help to support the many street kids who are orphaned or whose parents find it hard to feed their families. Umoza runs from 7 in the morning until 5 in the evening.
Umoza Children program started around 1994 because of level of poverty and HIV/AIDS. We have been losing a lot of parents, and children have been orphaned, and children are not having the support that they're supposed to have. So that meant that a lot of children had needs that needed to be addressed: physical, mental, social, and all those dimensions. So as an organization, we felt like we needed to put up a team that can work with this child from all these dimensions. That's why if you see the music, it's just a small component of what Umoza does to a child. And beyond that, we have a counseling session department that focuses on the psychological needs of the children. Because you find that for children to come from a home to live on the street, most of the times we might think that is maladaptive. But for them, it's an adaptive strategy.
They have to do it to survive,
to survive the harsh environments in their homes.
Yeah.
So for them to really grow into productive citizens, we need to start looking at that behavior and say, how do we accommodate this child to start living what is expected?
How many? Can we count? Here? 2, 3. Can we count 3 here?
What we have done is that we have employed a special needs teacher that is well qualified to understand each and every child's needs. And an individual program is developed so that although they're in a class, but every child learns at his own pace.
The children don't stay here, in fact, at all, but they come every day. They get here themselves every morning.
We believe that a child should be in the home, so they don't stay with us in our program.
But the children initially were on the street, and you found a relative, a grandparent or an auntie or an uncle for them to be safe with, and then they come here every day.
Yeah.
Once contact with the family has been established, a support program can begin. So, Phil, you feed all the children every day,
Yes.
and they come here to eat. Can I have a look?
Yes, you can
This
see.
is Seema.
Yeah, this is a Sima.
This is a very big wooden spoon. There are times in my life I wish I had one of these. That's too hot for.
Okay.
Watch this woman. Take the lid. Look, hands of iron. So this is the Seema, which is the basic staple, I suppose, is every day.
Yeah.
Everyone eats this.
Yeah.
Even when children leave the support class and are reintegrated to normal school, they still return every afternoon to participate in the music program. I'm really excited to be here and to finally meet the kids.
This is Emmanuel, Christopher.
Emmanuel is the teacher. He's a music teacher. And John and he have met many, many times, and they've done a few projects. But this was a really big project for me, and it was my first time meeting them.
Mary actually found this song written by Christy Hennessy when he was in Kenya called Believe in Me, which I think is a very apt title for both, you know, the children of Umoza and for Mary and herself, and recorded the track and then sent it out for Emmanuel to work on.
When I heard the song in Ireland first, I wanted to sing it, and John had asked me to sing a song with the children in Umoza.
Yes.
So I knew that would be the song, you know.
You know, Umoza Children, in their backgrounds, actually with that belief in me, it means a lot to them.
There's no future living in the past. Time is wasted when you're looking back. Look at you, got to come along with me. Am I wishing well and you will see. Believe in me and you will feel the way I feel. Believe in me and you will see what I can see. Listening to Emmanuel telling me about how hard the kids have been working, so I'm standing there in the middle of them and they start singing the chorus. It was as if I was being pelted by bolts of lightning. It went right through me and I just broke down like a big Egypt.
Believe in me and you will feel the way.
We recorded the voices in harmony, and they sang the chorus in English and they sang the chorus in Timbuktu.
Believe in me and you will see what I can see.
Music moves me. Everything else is in the halfpenny place then after that for me, you know. Thank you very, very, very much for all of the work that you've all put in to the song. It really means a lot and it's really, really, really beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. It was absolutely amazing what the kids did today. I'm so proud of them and the work they put in. It was magic and I can't wait to hear those voices on the finished version of the song. The day begins bright and early in Mzuzu. The city experiences nightly power cuts and people here are really struggling with rising fuel prices. The currency, kwacha, has recently been devalued. The average wage is $1 a day, but petrol is the same price here as it is in Ireland. The St. John of God Centre is an oasis from the hard reality of life outside its gates. The Umoza programme aside, the centre also offers a holistic approach to the educational, psychological and spiritual needs of the community here.
Well, Mary, how are you? Nice to
Nice
meet
to meet
you.
you.
Welcome to Mzuzu.
Oh, lovely to be here. Alongside the drop-in mental health clinic is a vocational college. This offers courses in dressmaking, printing, carpentry and landscaping.
The young men and the women learn how to propagate flowers as well as fruits Like as you can see in the garden here.
Working very hard. How are you?
Very.
Good.
The whole program has a staff complement of about 170 staff. And 80% of those would be professional staff. The whole staff are Malawians. Priscilla is
how are
the
you?
teacher of this
How are you?
class.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, I see you're baking. Wow. There's also a school for children with disabilities and a child development unit with its own dedicated physiotherapist. Charles was telling me earlier, met Charles, he said this is the only centre in the whole of Malawi that's like this
Yeah.
for children with intellectual and physical disabilities.
Yeah, it is. We do like physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and also speech. And we also have like clinics for children that are epileptic.
In time, we might be totally independent, but I think at the moment I can't completely say we will be totally independent because the economic situation is a global issue.
Gary Bridget!
Good,
Bridget! Across the road from the main centre is the new Mental Health Service College, where students can train to become healthcare professionals. Malawi has a population of 16 million people, and there's only one qualified psychiatrist for the whole of the country.
The mental health science field is quite new in Africa. It's only recently with the efforts of WHO and other organizations like St. John of God that we're seeing that many people are now being trained in mental health sciences.
I'm especially interested in seeing the House of Hospitality up the road from the main centre. Charles Maloya is the team leader here. St. John of God opened the hospital in 1996 for patients suffering from mental health problems. Charles is also the team leader of an addiction clinic based here. Venegas is the very first residential programme for addicts in Malawi, and the clients have very kindly agreed to meet with me. So I understand that you're all here to get some help. Okay, so I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I've been sober for about 18 years. So I went first to John of God's in Ireland. I'm from Ireland. So I know exactly what you're going through. How long have you been here? Second week. Second week? Okay. So you finding it hard? It's easy in here.
Yeah. Sometimes it's boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
Oh, life is boring. You should be in Ireland where it rains all the time and we don't get to sit outside. It's a problem when you've been doing a lot of substances. It's boring not to, you know. I know that. I think that some people can have a drink one time a day or once a week and it doesn't bother them. But for me, my addiction meant that I had to drink every day. I couldn't face the day without it. I didn't think I had a problem and I didn't want anybody's help. So I had a lot of problems and I had to come back a few times, you know. And it's more difficult the second time. Much more difficult to come back the third time. So, and it becomes more difficult every time. You know, you do need support. When these young men leave here in a week's time, they'll almost certainly need a support group. But it's still early days yet for this programme, and there are no AA groups in Malawi. This is really, really wonderful because you need a residential. But I think the help afterwards is really good. And in Ireland, where I was, every day they talk about AA, and you have to go to meetings every day because that's where you learn that other people have the same problems and other people have the same difficulties staying sober. For 2 years, I craved every single day. And I thought about how was I not going to drink today? How am I going to get through the day? They say you ride the finest horse I have ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes so wild and green. And you ride the horse so well, hands light to the touch. But I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on. So you go in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. I go in the morning from 9:30 to 11:30.
And we'll see where the children live and
Yeah.
stayed overnight.
Exactly.
Today, Emmanuel is doing outreach work for Umoza. He tours the main bus station and the market area, where orphaned and homeless children sometimes gather. This outreach work is an important part of the support network provided for these children.
These are the places where most of the times when I do night patrols, because I also have a program on night patrols, we can find children right away down here during the night. But this is daytime, we can hardly find them here.
The children sleep under the benches at the station or under the market stalls. They survive on dirty rice from the ground or on other spoiled food. If they're lucky, they'll find plastic bottles they can resell or become plastic bag sellers for other marketeers. Most of the children here that are underage, they're sent by their parents to sell plastic bags so that the people who come shopping can put the food into the bags. And Emmanuel has found a lot of children here before and he's brought them to St. John of God's. So his brother's looking after him?
Yeah.
Okay. Hanging around these places makes the children vulnerable to all kinds of abuse. And the outreach programme here tries to identify those most in danger. Today, Emmanuel has been approached by 2 children who would like to join Umoza. These kids will now be assessed by the social workers back at the centre.
We provide them with a basic hygiene. We give them a shower, we give them new clothes, and then we take them home to make an assessment of where this child is coming from.
Okay.
But it takes a great deal of interaction and assurance that everything is okay, that this place belongs to them. Then, once that is achieved, the child will always even come with his own initiative. You find that a program like ours in Umoza becomes so much under strain because we have to deal with these kinds of problems on a day-to-day basis. Children coming, families coming to us, seeking help, yet we don't have all the answers.
I certainly know a few things about music and addiction, and apart from recording the kids for the song, I wondered if there was more I could be doing for the guys on the addiction programme. So I've printed out a copy of the AA 12-step programme and have proposed that we hold the very first AA meeting in Malawi. I decided I would, for them to accept me, I would have to go the full chillin' and tell them everything about my story, you know, because I knew how they were. I knew how they felt about being there. I knew they had terrible shame, so I decided to tell them the really grim and gory details about where drink had, you know, left me. I lost everything. I lost a baby, and I ended up in life support in the Mater Hospital, but more than that, I lost all of my self-respect. There were times when I couldn't get out of bed without the help of my kids. There were times when my daughters had to help me to feed my baby, you know, Claire. So I decided to go through that with them to show them that they weren't the only ones who had sunk to various depths, you know.
So you think that's a lasting solution? Like the AA, is it working? I mean, according to your own perspective?
The AA works for millions and millions of people all over the world. Yeah. I had a lot of counselling. I had a lot of problems. I have 5 children. And I had a lot of problems from my home background, you know, when I was a kid. But really, you have to want to stop. The desire to stop drinking or to stop drugging is the biggest thing that can help you. Group hug. Come on. And I am still in love. I am still in love. I am still in love. So very much in love. And I curse the silver needle, and I curse the powers that be, and I curse the bloody bigotry that hath stolen the sacred key. but I am still in love. I am still in love. I am still in love. So very much in love. On the outskirts of Mzuzu, up in the hills, lies a remote village called Doroba. St. John of God's runs a self-help programme here. It's a kind of credit union or a banking group run by the women, and they've invited me to attend their weekly meeting. Hey.
She's the moderator, chairing the meeting.
Chairwoman.
She's the book writer.
Of the board. So everybody's putting in their money now today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The format is very simple. The women sit in a circle with 3 bowls between them. One bowl is for savings, one for loan repayments, and the third for a community fund to help families in times of need. Maybe Ireland could learn a few things from these women. She's paid back a loan.
400 yakusonga.
Contribution.
Her contribution.
40 kwacha ya masuzo.
And they're also putting in their obligatory 20 kwacha, which is for the
social fund.
Social fund,
yeah,
which goes to people who are in trouble. So this week somebody is bereaved, and they do that when anybody needs money. Each group has a moderator and a bookkeeper to record all the transactions. The roles are rotated, and this ensures no corruption. It's all very professional and not a handbag in sight. The women carry their money wrapped in a knot in their skirts. This woman has given a lot of money. Keep it coming. Keep it going. Can I ask the question again? Why are there no men? I think I know the answer.
Some of these women are married to men who are working in South Africa.
Oh, okay.
So they feel that if they involve men, they can take the money and go away with it to South Africa.
It's very wise.
Of course.
Self-help came to Mzuzu in 2010, and already there are 40 groups up and running in the region. It has given women so much confidence that they now lobby politicians for better health and education services. Today is my last day with the kids from Umoza, and I'm sad to be leaving. But I'm very happy to have been part of the music project here. First, I want to get an update on the 2 boys that Emmanuel brought here yesterday. Only one has returned today. His name is Mohammed Charles, and he's come back with his mother, who has agreed to talk to Umoza about the family situation. So, a happy ending. This is Mohammed Charles that we met at the market. Yeah. This is Brother Good, and this is his mother.
For Mohammed Charles, he's staying with the mum. He's more or less like the breadwinner because he's the older among the 3 children. Okay. And then the mum is not married. She only does a very small scale type of business. The planned intervention is to reintegrate the child back to school and then to link the mother to self-help group.
I'm delighted that you're here. See you later.
See you later, man.
We get the family to start thinking positively that they can still do it even though they're struggling. One thing that I like about Umoza is that it's managed by social workers, and they understand that beyond this child, there are factors which are making these children to be in this situation. So the future for Umoza, we see that we should be able to do more of advocacy. We feel that the government should be more responsive to the people's needs. So the children of Malawi are able to also have aspirations and dreams.
One more time. Umoza is really important because most of the children there have a chance. They do go on to school, high school, and the music program is really important for them and for their esteem, their self-esteem as well. So that's just one like tiny little project in Malawi that works, which is a happy story, you know. Believe in me and you will feel the way I feel. Believe in me and you will see what I can see. You've got to trust in me, and maybe then you see what I've always believed. You are free. Believe in me, and you will feel the way I feel. Believe in me, and you will see what I can see. Believe in me.
Umuguone,